evening and welcome to the arena here on WoezorTV. My name is Appiah. Yesterday I was here and I gave you the exclusive news that should the Black Stars lose against Germany by a disappointing goal margin, Otuado is going to be sacked. Of course, I must admit there was an improved performance, but the 50-year-old former Borussia Dortmund talent coach has been fired. Tonight on the arena, we'll be asking a simple question. Was Otuado in the first place qualified to coach the Black Stars team? And also ask what next for the Black Stars? Who replaces Otuado? And we'll give you some names that have emerged in the last hours since Otuado was sacked. We'll also take our time and review the performance of the Black Stars after the game against Austria and then Germany in the March international friendly games. Remember, the Black Stars suffered a humiliating 5-1 loss against Austria before a 2-1 loss defeat to Germany on Monday in Stuttgart. We'll analyze all the games and find out what went wrong for the players and also the technical team. Now, without a substantive lead, which is Otuado, who has been fired. We'll bring you the story and how he got sacked after the Germany game. We'll bring you everything that you need to hear tonight on the arena. Also, we will involve you this evening. We want you to call us and tell us what you expect going forward. My name is Appiah and this is the arena. We'll take a quick turnaround, and when we come back, we will want to hear from you. Tonight we are picking just 10 calls. We want to hear from you first before we go for I involve the guys in the studio. We want to pick 10 calls, and that will be after the commercial break. But before we go for a quick commercial break, let me read this exciting news to you, and so that you can keep an eye on as we all prepare for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Remember, the arena is proudly sponsored by MyBet.Africa. MyBet.Africa always holding us down. Let me go through this exciting news for you, and so you can also be part of this exciting news as we all prepare for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now, pack your bags, Ghana, because two people are going to the FIFA 2026 World Cup today, and 2 more tomorrow, and 2 more the day after that. Now, that is a Black Stars World Cup raffle, support raffle. And just 10 cities, just 10 Ghana cities, you could win a full World Cup experience package, return flights, accommodation, and match ticket to all 3 of Ghana's to watch 3 of Ghana's group games in North America. Now, and there are daily consolation prizes too: cash to your mobile money wallets, autographed Black Stars jersey, VIP fan pack ticket, airtime bundle, data bundle, and more. Now, every ticket is your vote for the Black Stars, and your shot is being there when the team play against England, Croatia, and Panama. To participate in this, just dial *899# on MTN, Telecel, or Airtel Tigo. Just 10 cities per ticket. The more you buy, the better your chances. Now, 2 winners every day, Ghana to the world. Like I said, you can participate by dialing *899# or visit gh worldcupraffle.com to buy your tickets. gh worldcupraffle.com to buy your tickets. Like I said, the arena is also proudly sponsored by MyBet.Africa. Remember, we have a lot to unpack tonight. Also, we'll bring you our investors corner, because last week it was all green. We were able to make some money, and so you would want to stay with us throughout the whole. Now, we'll take a quick spin. When we're back, we will want to hear from you. We'll open out phone lines, pick 10 calls. I will introduce the guys, and I will begin the conversation. We also have an exclusive reports from Germany tonight as well. What went wrong in Austria and in Germany, all coming up on the arena. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Your flight is ready to leave.
Sit back and relax and enjoy the flight.
Do you want a sugar-free, freshly squeezed fruit juice? Choose Greenline fruit juice and smoothies. Filled with vitamin C, calcium, iron, fiber, and zinc, every drop of Greenline juice and smoothies is naturally made to give you energy, good health, and refreshment. Enjoy your favorite Greenline orange, pineapple passion, watermelon, pineapple and turmeric, pineapple beetroot, pineapple and ginger, and healthy green. Greenline fruit juice and smoothies, powered by nature.
If you're watching this with your friends, you'll probably make a joke.
Because you know what you feel on the inside
Isn't what you want people to know.
If you have to pretend to be happy,
find someone you trust and tell them.
If you get mad at things and you don't know why, or have thoughts about hurting yourself,
Find someone you trust and tell them.
you are never alone when you share.
seriously, people care about you.
It's okay to not understand what you're feeling.
And it's easy to think that you're all alone.
But you don't have to be.
You're never alone when you share.
Don't be ashamed to tell someone you trust what you're feeling.
You're not alone.
You are not alone.
Find someone you trust and tell them.
Tell a parent.
Tell a teacher. Tell a brother or sister.
Or just tell a friend.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Talk to someone.
Talk to someone.
It's how things get better.
Embarrassed. Too embarrassed to speak to a loved one. Too embarrassed to speak to your doctor.
Too embarrassed. When in our lifetime, 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer.
Let me repeat that. 1 in 4 black men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer. 1 in 12 black men will die from prostate cancer disease.
1 in 12. That could be your dad, even your older brother, uncle, or grandfather.
You need to make sure they are not embarrassed to speak to you or their doctor about it.
Hey, Dad, have you had your prostate checked out? See? How hard is that? It's easy. Just start the conversation.
Prostate cancer is survivable if caught and treated early enough.
Don't let embarrassment stop you having this important conversation.
You may save someone's life.
Not just your own.
Only a father can.
Right, welcome back. You're still watching the Arena here on WoezorTV. My name is Appiah, and like I said, the guys are already seated. But like I said, you can now join us, and we are discussing tonight Black Stars. We are unpacking what happened in Austria, Germany, as well. We'll be joined by a guest online very soon, and we'll have a discussion. But then, us will bring you more. We'll lead you exactly like I said. We'll bring you the news about how the coach was sacked and everything that happened. Will bring you up to date. But right for now, you can call us with the number on your screens and share your thoughts with us, because the coach is no more there. What are your expectations going forward? Which coach are you expecting to take over the Black Stars? And so for now, you can call us now and share your thoughts with us. But let me quickly introduce the guys, and then we can get the show underway, and then I can bring you up to speed about everything that we are going to talk about tonight. Let me begin this way. Michael, good evening. Welcome. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. Absolutely amazing weekend. Began with 5-1 thrashing of the Black Stars, and then it's more or less ended with the sacking of Otuado. Well, we will talk about that today, but weekend was absolutely good. And
all right, Mike. Let me talk to our first scholar. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the RNL here on WoezorTV.
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Ignatius Akomesa, speaking from Jumapon in Yanisiam district.
All right. Talk to us, bro.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. I want to say, I think with the Black Stars issues, we've always focused on changing coaches, but then we've neglected the root cause of it. Because within 5 years, we've changed like 5 coaches. So what exactly is going on? Is there somebody in the GFA benefiting from the coaches, or is there someone there that always prescribe players for coaches to use them? Because looking at the players that we have better players in Ghana. We can play more than those that we've been inviting all over the year. But what do? We keep on repeating the same cycle, always going for foreign players. They don't even have time to even cohabitate or link play. Everybody wants to play what he knows at his club. Forgetting that they have to come together. We need to have a different, like a style together that we can all adapt to. Because other than that, we'll always be changing coaches, and I think Keto Krekutu is another one that we have to take a look at. And I always blame those that have always been voting for him, because he's really.
Right, I believe we've lost him there, but you can also call us now and share your thoughts with us. What are expectations? Otuado is no more. Which coach are you expecting that he takes over from him? And so you can join us with your... Okay, so hello, good evening, and welcome to the arena here on WoezorTV.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, talk to us. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Able Minister from Kofu.
Right, Able Minister, please talk to us.
I have a little complaint. Please, if you are not going to read our messages when we send the messages, please don't display the numbers.
Or apologies. Message. Okay.
Send in messages, but it is not being read.
Able Minister, I just want to respectfully, I want to apologize. We will be reading your message from today onwards. Huge apologies. I am apologizing to you. Right. And okay. So yeah, let's hear from you now.
Otuado's dismissal. I think it is long overdue. The man didn't even qualify per the criteria the GFA put out there. So what criteria do they use in appointing Otuado? This is causing financial loss to the state. Konimo and his guys must be arrested. If you arrest Konimo and his people.
Yes, if you say
because
Konimo,
they have caused massive financial loss to the state.
Yeah, but if you say Konimo, I mean, who is that?
The GFA president.
Oh, okay. All right. Able Minister, please proceed.
And his football people.
Right. Are you please done? All right. I mean, he's gone. Anyways, you can still join us. Still with the introduction. Good evening. Welcome. How was your weekend?
Oh
yeah.
I mean, as he said, it has been long overdue, but the timing, I don't know why we waited this long. But I mean,
you think it should have been more earlier, right? I mean, it should have been earlier than
The weekend was not that great because coming off of 5-1, now it's all about analysis. But
please hold on for me. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the arena here on WoezorTV. Hello. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So you proceed.
Yeah. So I was saying, coming off a 5-1 defeat, your whole weekend is messed up. I mean, I thought I was going to catch a break from Liverpool and our shambles, but
and you chose Black Stars.
I had hope. But as of now, I mean, I'll still keep clapping for those who have managed to sack their managers till it's my turn. So I'm happy for Ghanaians that Otuado is not there anymore. I'm still waiting for my turn at Liverpool.
Right. Right. And so, like, okay. Hello. Good evening and welcome to Darina here on WoezorTV. Right. Yeah. Yeah. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Claude and I'm calling from Wa.
Okay. Talk to us.
Yes. Like the other colleague said, the stacking of the coach to me is not really the problem. Because if you want to kill a snake, you don't just tie it in the middle and leave it. If you don't want the best is to cut it and you kill to time. Why am I saying this? The whole GFA needs resetting. The whole GFA needs resetting. When we do the resetting of GFA, then think of resetting the team. Because I believe, even though I can't do both, but I believe people in the GFA have so much games from that particular of coaches and calling of players to the Black Stars. They have the games there. That's one. Two, I just want to ask your panelists and yourself, and then whoever is listening, take a look at your team and compare it to the teams you are going to play in the Black Stars. How many players for your team are started in their various teams? The captain is a and you are going to competition with 12 players. Before you get a call to play, you just the competition. It's like we're taking out big kick to a party. I only prayer here is that we should check our systems, the GFA check them first, and then whoever we employ. Look at the example I'm going to give. Look at the legacy as he has with Bratton in the Premier League. But a class coach, people manipulated him and he couldn't work. The whole GFA needs resetting. That's my complaint. Nowhere.
Right. Thank you. We're struggling to hear him, but I think what he was trying to say is that the entire GFA need, resetting. It's the resetting agenda need to affect, all aspects, of the country. And so regardless of who you are, the resetting need to affect you. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Darina here on WoezorTV.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, talk to us. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Raman. I'm calling from Makasim, Kobe FM.
Right. Raman, talk to us.
All right. I'm very interested in the topic you guys are discussing. And you see, from the look of things, all the people that they are calling, they are all calling for the head of Otuado. It has been long overdue. I don't even understand why he was picked as the head coach of the national team, senior national team. Because Otuado, looking at his record, he doesn't have any record of teaching any, coaching any before he was handed the senior national team. So even that alone disqualified him. But I don't know why the GFA and the football people decided to select him over all the other people that applied for the job. So now that he's been sacked, I think the people that employed him should also be looked at. They should also be at least investigated. That somebody called him Konimo. Me, I'm calling his name. Keto Kweku and his people should also be invited and then investigated and interrogated and find out why he was the one that was given the job instead of other people. You understand? And that Keto Kweku thing, I think, is the problem of Ghana football. Keto Kweku himself should be dealt with massively. He's the problem of our Ghana football. And all this nonsense, all this nonsense should be stopped. Now we should look for a more qualified coach who is more experienced, who has the track record of doing better things, and then we should hand him the national team so that he can take the national team to the World Cup and then bring victory to us. Otuado is a shame to the country. He doesn't have any records or whatever that he should handle. He hasn't even coached a coach team before. So why should he be given this big job? It's a disgrace to us, and you guys are doing a massive job. Big up to you all.
Before you go, I mean, any coach that you think is more qualified to take over the team?
Come again.
Do you have any coach in mind that you think he would do a more proper job if the job?
Yes, we have tons of them. You know, in Ghana here, we have a lot of coaches that they can take care of the Black Stars. We have ex-players who are coaches. Otoado has never been a coach before. He was just a scout. And scouting is totally different from being a coach. You see, you being a host is totally different from somebody being at the control room and doing all these things. He can do all the control room works, but if they are brought to come and host shows like this, they'll be found wanting. You understand? So a coach should be employed for the job, not a scout. There are so many coaches, other foreign coaches that they can do better than him. So, Pastor, when we are picking people, we pick the right people, not somebody we can manipulate and then do all these kind of things. So I'm just suggesting that we should find a better person who has done the work before, and we know that yes, this guy can do the work. At least he has done this somewhere before. He has done this before, so that we will get a better result than Otoado, who is just a scout.
Thank you very much. We'll pick our final caller and I'll bring you up to speed. Like I said in my intro, we'll take our time this evening, bring you why we are here. Possibly next week we'll come back and then, I mean, give you a different line of story and really tell you where our football is heading to now. Because when I came, I was having a discussion with our boss. I'm saying this on air. I was having a discussion with my boss and I told him something, that when we started declining after 2015 AFCON, when we played the final and we started declining, there is no standing national team now that they can go in there and Rwanda can say that this player is good enough to play for the Black Stars. We have none as it stands. So probably we'll have a lot to discuss here tonight. We'll pick our final caller and then I'll run you through. I'll take my time tonight to run you through some of the sequence of event that has transpired and why we are here. We'll pick our final caller and we're in the calling segment. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the arena here on WoezorTV.
Hello, good evening, and thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Ejewusu, calling from Fantasy.
Right, Ejewusu.
And I'd like to contribute to the show.
Right, Ejewusu, please go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that I also put it in this position. The GFA, although we are blaming them, we are blaming Otoado. That same Otoado who does not qualify was the one who qualified us to the World Cup. So at that particular time, I would say the GFA were visionary to take Otoado back to the team for us to be able to qualify to the World Cup. So at this juncture, we could see that Otoado's strength is not enough to take us to the World Cup. And the same GFA who employed him have also decided that this time we have to give experienced coaches what the chance to take us to the World Cup. So if you make this estimation, you can see that every situation has its own way of solving it. So at that particular time, they knew very well that Otoado was the best at that time to qualify us to the World Cup. Although we did not qualify to the Cup of Nations, the African Cup of Nations, but their focus, I think the team focus was on the World Cup. And looking at the style that Otoado is playing, it seems he's not versatile. He's not able to train the team to the extent of having so many ways of scoring or so many strategies of facing opponents. They don't have those things. I think he will not take time to train the team. They are playing only one star. He's trying to play the one top that we played in 2010 World Cup. He's trying to do it, but he doesn't have the capacity of Asamoah and someone like Asamoah in the team no more. He's trying to imitate the previous experience of a black star in the World Cup to play in such way to at least please Ghanaians on that. But it's not working. So the decision by the DFA to change him is very important at this juncture. And this time I'm going for James Appiah. He's very experienced at the World Cup, and looking at how he's handling the Sudanese team, national team this time. I think Appiah will be best to handle the team this time.
So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, and we are most grateful for those who were able to call. Our text line will be displayed on your screen, and so you can join us if you are not able to call in. But now, like I said, I just wanted to take you through the sequence of events while we are here. The guys will have their bites on that. Like I promised you, we'll have an exclusive update from what happened in Austria to Germany and why the coach has been sacked and what next. So tonight we have a lot to unpack here. Now, under this administration, so far, you could remember when Kotokriku took office, Kwesi Appiah was in charge, but he was sacked, and then CK Akono was brought in. CK didn't last. They decided to bring in Milo Van Rajevac, the former Black Stars coach, who was with us in 2010 during the World Cup. Milo was sacked. They brought in Otuado as the interim. You could remember George Watson coming in, Didi Dramani coming in for the World Cup playoffs against Nigeria. He did that, and we all had we all heard what the then president told him. And those of us who doesn't know the story, Otuado was only brought in to to take charge of the playoffs, and after he goes back to Dortmund. But because the president told him that we are going to kidnap you, reason why Otuado stayed on the job. So Otuado in the first place was not prepared to be in charge, but he agreed, took us the World Cup, and after our final group game against Uruguay, he decided to resign. He announced it. And then what happened? We decided to appoint Chris Hughton, who was then serving as a technical advisor to the Black Stars. He took us to Ivory Coast. We exited in a group phase, and then he was sacked. Now, you could remember a committee after the AFCON in Ivory Coast. You could remember a 5-member committee was put up to look for a new technical or a head coach for us, and the GFA put out a criteria in the kind of coaches that we are looking for. And if I'm to go through that, because we need to remind ourselves why we are where we are now, so we can understand where the conversation is heading to. So these were the criteria. Now, experience, a minimum of 15 years, which is the coach that is coming in need to have a 15 years coaching experience, top level coaching, national team or club. Now, holder of the highest football coaching license or certification. Now, proving success and then competence. We had his philosophy, a coaching philosophy that aligns with GFA's football DNA, and then development, demonstrated ability in team reconstruction and nurturing of young talent. This criteria was announced when Chris Hughton was sacked. We were told that the list of coaches has been sent to the Executive Council, but we also know for a fact that Otuado's name was not on that list, but then surprisingly maneuvered to get the job. Ayala has joined us, but Ayala, please hold on for me. Let me run through this sequence and then you can give us up to speed, because you are joining our conversation tonight. So this was the criteria, but Otuado came back, was given the nod. Now, let's have a look at Otuado's numbers when he came back. Otuado, when he was reappointed, the number of games, because he was sacked yesterday, and then I'll give you the story behind why he was sacked or what led to his sacking, and Ayala joining us also can give us more details to that. Now, when Otuado came, he played 22 games, and there you have it on your screens. 22 games played, and this research was put together by Michael. 22 games played, 8 games won, drawn 5, lost 9, scored 35 goals, conceded 25, 29 points, won out of a possible 66. Now, win rate is 36%, and points per game is 1.32%. That is Otuado's rate card. Now, after the game against Austria, and this is where I want you listening to us or watching us to pay attention. After that drubbing 5-1 loss to Austria, that was when they decided to sack Otuado. The Ghana Football Association, together with the government or the sports ministry, decided to sack Otuado. right after the game. Now let's have a look at what an executive council member of the Ghana Football Association said today when Otuado was sacked. That will give us a clear explanation to what I'm trying to tell you tonight. And this is what he says. And this is Frederick Achampong, executive council member of the Ghana Football Association. He says that irrespective of the outcome of the Germany match, Otuado was going to be sacked. The decision was formulated after the Austria match. We were just buying time. So if he says we, it means that the GFA, they just allowed Otuado to stay on the job. So the decision was taken by the GFA together with the government right after the Austria game. And so those of you who saw Otuado when he was during his match press conference ahead of the Germany game, you could see his body language and read meanings into that. There was a reason. Now, let me give you the statement. It was just a 3-paragraph statement by the Ghana Football Association that was released. And this is what it says. Now, the Ghana Football Association has parted ways with head coach Otuado, the head coach of the senior. Okay, so there you have it on your screen. And so you can have a look at it. Now, the Ghana Football Association has parted ways with the head coach of the senior national team, the Black Stars, Otuado, effective immediately. The association wishes to thank Otuado sincerely for his contribution to the team and wishes him the best of luck in his future endeavors. And the Ghana Football Association will communicate the new technical direction of the Black Stars in due course. It was just a 3-paragraph statement, and that is the statement where you just read it. Now Otuado is left. He's gone. We understand that he's going to receive 500,000 payoff as a compensation because his monthly salary was $50,000, and he signed a 3-year contract with an option of additional 2, and he spends just 2 months and 2 years and then just 2 months. So he had additional 10 months. And so the government had decided to pay him off. And so the compensation is $500,000. Now, the question is, what next? Which coaches are going to take over from Otuado? Let's have a look at the coaches that their names have emerged that they are going to take over from Otuado. And then we can bring in Ayala. And then after Ayala's submission, Michael and Wandel will also bring in their submission. This is what we are hearing. Of course, there are also reports saying that Walid Regragui, the former Morocco coach, is also or has joined in as one of the favorites to be named as the new Black Stars coach. But this is what we understand, that Thompson Fates, Thompson Fates worked with Mali recently. McBryce qualified Cameroon to the AFCON, but lost in the playoffs, and he was sacked by Samuel Eto'o. And then Hervé Renard today has resigned as the head coach of Saudi Arabia. These are the coaches that we understand that are leading the race, and any of them could be appointed as the new Black Stars head coach. Let me drop it here. Ayala, good evening, welcome, and thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, good evening, Jacob. How are you?
Ayala, I'm sure you heard me going through those sequence, but this is what we know together with the team here. This is what we know. But Ayala, before you left the shores of Ghana, we spoke to you, and then you gave us an insight of what we should expect. Now, tonight, take us through what happened. We'll take it bit by bit. Let's first of all deal with what happened in Austria. We'll come to Germany, and then you give us the breakdown as to why and what led to the sacking of Otuado. So let's begin from Vienna. The team had held some training sessions, very encouraging. We saw Otuado at the press conference, very lively, together with Jordan Ayew on Thursday night. Very, very lively. But unfortunately, we went into the game and we suffered a drubbing 5-1 loss. From where you were sitting and from where you watched the game, Ayala, what do you think what went wrong for the team and also the technical team?
Okay. As I speak to you, I'm still in Germany, Stuttgart. I am talking to you from the hotel room of where the Black Stars were staying, the Reddington Blue. I'll be leaving tomorrow. What happened was, in my perspective, and per the observations I made, I can say that Otuado prepared more for the German game and underrated the Austrian game. And if you know Otto very, very well, if he's playing big games, games he takes serious, games he respects the opponent, he has always opted for the three center halves formation, the one we call the three back. So it was quite surprising that in the game against Austria, Otto decided to go with a four back, then played two central midfielders in Zibo and Partey, added three additional offensive midfielders in Fatah Ushahaku, Antoine Semenyo, and Jordan Ayew, with Prince Edu as a striker. Now, when the team began to break down and were enjoying the dribbling from the Austrian team, he then switched to his favorite three-back, thinking that could consolidate the defense of the team and probably redeem the image of the team in the second half. But the game was already gone, and nothing could be salvaged from that game. Now, you realize right from that Austrian game, in the German game, Otto came in the way we expect Otto to play big games. Very, very compact with his formation, very disciplined with the roles of the players on the pitch, with his three-back system, and the team looks solid defensively against Germany. So, if you ask me in a nutshell, what went wrong in the Austrian game is that I think, by what I observed, Otto paid more attention to the German game, prepared for it, and underrated the Austrian game, and it was to be his last disaster as the coach of the Black Stars.
Right, that's fine. From what we heard, and so okay. So before I even go to that particular question, based on what you've given us, so it means that from your own perspective, you were even surprised with what you saw on the pitch, isn't it?
Of course, knowing the Otto I know and as an analyst, I knew that he was going to use this Austrian and German game to prep himself against Croatia and England. And I can tell you, if Otto was going to be our coach for the World Cup, against England, against Croatia, we were going to play the three-back system right from the beginning of the game. So if he attempts to do something different, then probably you are right to put it in a category of him experimenting too much and probably underrating that game. And by the results of the game, we all could see it just didn't work.
Now, let me just ask you this question. Before you people left Austria to Stuttgart, right? Left Austria, I believe, on Saturday. Was there any rumor, or were there any rumors that perhaps Otuado is going to lose his job before you people left for Stuttgart on Saturday? Were there any rumors like that?
You are pushing me to share a lot of privileged information. Okay, this is what happened. For me personally, after the game against Austria, whilst we were looking for our bus back to our hotel, I bumped into the executive council that included the president of the FA. He called me and said, Ayala, we need to chat this evening. I want your perspective on a certain matter. I said, okay, I'll call you. I later got to my hotel, then decided, no, this conversation shouldn't be on phone. It should be personal. So I had to then walk to the Black Stars Hotel, which was just 5 minutes away from the previous hotel that I was sleeping. Now, I went to the Black Stars Hotel that evening. You could see 2 or 3 people gathered and talking about what has happened. For the president in particular, my first sight of him was when he was having a conversation with other members of the technical team that excluded Otuado. I visibly saw the technical advisor in Shefa and some other backroom staff of Otuado. Then I called. He couldn't pick. Then after like 3 minutes, he texted me, I will be with you very, very soon. I said, oh, I have even seen you in a meeting, so I'm waiting. Now, when I engaged the FA president, the first impression I got from him was that it was a decision time. And he needed to understand other perspective to know whether the decision of the executive committee and the Black Stars Management Committee will be right on auto. So if you ask me, per the conditions at that time, the body languages, the grapevine conversations and comments that were bumping around within the corridors of the Black Stars Hotel that night, you could tell everything was pointing to a decision-making night that was very, very crucial. Now, the results wasn't good at all for Otto in that perspective, and you could clearly see that the results was going to be fundamentally what was going to inform the decision that will be made on Otto. So for me, when I woke up the following morning, I wasn't surprised to hear from Grapevine that that ninth decision was to do away with Otto. They've seen enough. They've given him opportunities enough. They've backed him enough. And they think Otto is not really improving as a coach. He's not improving the team. Yes, there are some external factors that could come into the analysis. But overall, if they keep faith in Otto and they back him for the World Cup and the worst happens, the FA concluded they will be too lonely to explain the kind of disappointment that they've disappointed a nation, and that they will go along with the national mood to sacrifice Otto, bring in someone, and probably hope things will change. So, yes, I got that mood that night at the Black Stars Hotel after the Austrian game.
Thank you very much. You said, I mean, these were a privileged conversation, but then you've been able to share them with us. And I want to say thank you very much. Okay, so now let's move the conversation forward. Now, you guys safely arrived in Germany, Stuttgart on Saturday. And we saw the team held a couple of training, shake-ups and all that. But from the body language of the players, Otuado himself, the technical team, do you think, like you said, even though you couldn't get a clear message that whether he was going to sack, even though the president said it's a decision time, but based on that, the body language of the players and then Otuado in Stuttgart, did you ever envisage that performance against Austria could have improved, knowing very well that perhaps maybe I've been told I'm going to be sacked, and so regardless of whatever I do, I mean, I might lose my job, and so I don't care. Did you saw that? Because I know off record, myself and you, we've had a very, very argument on, and I know that we're a very firm believer of Otuado, but having get closer to him and having known who he is, were you surprised with the kind of performance that we turned out against Germany, knowing very well that some conversation has happened behind closed doors and it is yet to be made official? Were you surprised with the performance of the team?
No, I wasn't. And I'll give you my simple reason. After the Black Stars last training, ahead of the German game, after the training, the media guys there was approached by Shafa, and he told us point blank that we should expect a new Black Stars against Germany. And he's saying that to us based on the body language and what the players have done in between the heavy loss to Austria and the preparations towards the German game. And he gave us a very, very good insight. He said, among the Black Stars players, the two leaders in the team, Jordan and Partey, are very, very quiet players. They don't normally want to talk. But what Shafa can tell us is that ahead of the German game, Jordan and Partey in particular,
wow, I mean, we've lost Ayala Sode, unfortunately, but we'll definitely bring him back your messages are coming in. You can still share your messages. I mean, we'll take our time to read all the messages. I'm sure we'll try and establish contact with Ayala and then try and then bring him in, because we need to hear exactly what happened. We need to get all the stories here tonight before we leave. And so keep sending your messages. We'll take our time and read all of them. But okay, let me begin with you, Michael. Like I said today, I'm not going to interject you guys because I know you guys have a lot to say. We have a lot to unpack. The main question is that who takes over this team next? That is the main important question, because you can't afford to get it wrong this time. No. You can't. Michael.
Yeah.
Austria. Ayala has given out the inside story.
Yeah.
He was trying to explain exactly what happened in Germany, but unfortunately we've lost him. I'm sure we'll bring him back. But so far, what has happened? Now Otuado is normal.
Yeah.
The question I just want to ask you is that, first of all, was he even the right person to be in there in the first place? Now he's gone. You put the research together in terms of the numbers and everything. Now he's normal. We have less than 3 months of the World Cup. Yeah. Who takes over this team? All right. Okay. So Ayala is back. Let's Ayala continue and then wrap up everything for us. Ayala. Sorry. We lost you, and so you can please carry on. Please continue.
Yes. Sorry to all our viewers. So I was telling you what Shafa told us. He said Jordan and Partey have been very, very vocal in camp. They were telling all the other players that, look, we need to up our game. We need to step up, and we need to show a little bit of commitment, improvement, and fight against Germany. It's a do or die game for us, and we need to create a very, very good impression of ourselves going into the World Cup. And for him, Shafa, with what has happened in terms of the body language and the communication and the show of commitment from those leaders and the response from the other team members, he knew that the Blasters would be different. Then came the right decisions in terms of the lineup, and you could clearly see on the pitch throughout the 90 minutes the commitment of the players, the way they wanted to prove something in that game, the concentration levels, and everything stood up in terms of the improvement we needed to see if you compare that game against Germany to the game against Austria. So that was evident enough. And I was expectant that we were going to do much better in the game against Germany than we did against Austria.
Great. Ayala, my last but one question. Now, the game is over. The minister was in there, arrived in Stuttgart on, late Saturday. He joined the team. He was at the stadium yesterday to watch the game. Now, after the game, the information was out, communicated late last night, midnight. Just 3-paragraph statement confirming the departure of Otuado. Looking at the body of work that he did, because the football is about the numbers and the body of work that you will do. And you said what the FA president told you. If we don't take an action time, it will be very difficult for us to explain ourselves should it get worse at the World Cup. Even though you have heard some information, now it's made official. Where do you stand on this? Do you think that we've shot ourselves in the foot, or it's the decision that it was inevitable? Regardless whether 2 days to the start of the World Cup or a week to the start of the World Cup, Otuado was going to be shown the exit. But we're just trying to find the right time. When Wandel came to the studio, he was telling me that he thinks the timing is a problem. From where you sit, how do you analyze this?
Okay. Eko, you've known me for a couple of years, and I am very, very analytic on tangents like these. Now, I will try and explain my perspective to you on this subject, and I hope I get the right words for people to understand me. Now, I was waiting to know what the direction of the Blasters will be after the sacking of Otto. And that could possibly give me where to stand, whether this decision is right or wrong. So I will start with what probably would have been your last question. I have spoken to a lot of the Black Stars Management Committee members. I have spoken to privileged people who are very, very close to power within the FA. And the message is clear. They needed that night after the Austrian game to take the FA decision whilst they wait for the minister to bring onto the table the decision of the government. Now, they took the decision that was binding the FA, that they've seen enough and Otto should be shown the exit. Honorable Kofi Adams came onto the table after the Austrian game, during the German game, and it seems it was then a unified decision, unanimous, because he also came with a government position that Otto should be allowed to leave. So then, from the two administrators of the national team, the paymasters and the managers, the conclusion was that Otto should be allowed to go. Now, if Otto is leaving, who then fixed the new direction of the Black Stars? And exclusively, I can tell you that the decision is that the government have told the Ghana Football Association that they are ready to invest in a top coach for the Black Stars, no matter how much it is going to cost the nation. And I am making this emphasis because in the past, we've raised issues of elite coaches that could do the job. And we've had hindrances of how much we can pay as a nation and the reason why we can't go for these coaches. Now it is being laid bare to the Ghana Football Association, get us a top-notch coach and we are ready to fund it, says the government. Now, if that is the direction of the Black Stars now, and I also remember speaking to one Black Star Management Committee member and he told me, Ayala, we want to see the Black Stars at the World Cup playing very, very well, looking like a team that is so confident, looking at a team that is handled by a top manager. And that is the kind of Black Stars we want to see at the World Cup. Now, if that is the change of direction, then Echo, I can then say that why did we have to wait till this time? Because the appointment of Otto gave all of us the impression it seems we had patience to build. So right after sacking Otto, if you tell me you want to accelerate the process to quickly get to elite level, so now you are ready to invest in an elite coach, then the problem, the question every Ghanaian will ask, including myself, will be, why then do you wait and didn't make that decision right after the exit of Chris Hughton? Then again, someone may answer that during the exit of Chris Hughton, there was a different government. And probably their approach to funding the Black Stars project would have been different from this new government. And that could possibly be the difference. So you must allow that to go. But then again, in terms of the footballing reasons, the Ghana Football Association and what they aspire to do with the Black Stars, from what I'm hearing, is a clear deviation of the reason why they appointed Otto, where we've gotten to now, and the new direction that they want to seek. And if that is the understanding and the fundamentals of what the reality are, then I would say probably it was good that they allowed Otto to go, because it is only when Otto leaves that will then create the room for us to accelerate the decision to bring in an elite coach to probably get us to where we all want to get as quickly as possible. Now, who comes in? The profile that he comes in with, the backroom staff that he comes in with, and possibly the hope that every Ghanaian will want to see a change in the fortunes of the Black Stars will then be the best judge of whatever process that we are going to go through.
That was going to be my next question. Now, if the government says that they are ready to go all out and fund whomever coach that comes in, like I said, we are hearing three managers: McBryce, Heavy Renard, and Thompson Fit. From where you said, I don't know. Probably you might also have different, or you might also had had different names. But this is what we have for now. But from your angle, if there is any other coach that you think he can do the job and give us a better results, and probably on the long term, because we have AFCON qualifiers right after the World Cup for next year, from your side, which manager do you think can do a better job? And have you heard of any other names as well?
I can see you want to squeeze all the information I have with me. Okay, so I will do justice for you. Okay, first of all, on your list, I will say the Tom Sanford name doesn't really cut it in terms of the conversations I've had, and those are initial conversations. The reason being that he seems to be too much of a media frenzy, and they will not want that kind of coach. They will not want a coach that seems to have a lot of Ghanaian media friends. It doesn't really cut it for the way this FA want to handle the Blasters in terms of information flow, in terms of how they want to protect the team from the way the media want to infiltrate the camp and all that. So it's not too much of the competence argument on Tom, but it's about the way he goes along with his job, and he seems to be too popular with the Ghanaian media, and the FA doesn't really want that kind of person to handle the Blaster. So from where I sit and from the information that I have, you can say his name out of the list. Now, in terms of the names that are being worked on, I am very, very honest when I'm asked these questions, and not to seems to overblow it to think I know what is really happening. But what I know in terms of the choice of words of the people I've spoken to, they are so confident that they will get a top-notch coach. A coach that when he's mentioned, every Ghanaian will say, look, this is okay. This is the standard. There is someone who cut it for us. Even for those who may not even know him firsthand, when you Google his name or you try to do any amount of research on him, you come out of the research and say, this is probably befitting where probably we want the Blasters to be. So I've not really had names. And yes, there is Ali Walid Wagagri name also within the corridors or the rumors within the media circles. I asked about him, and I was told that the little that they know from his agents and other people close to him is that he seems to think he want to go on a sabbatical leave, and he has withdrawn from the football arena for a certain period, making him not too much available for the Blasters job. That is also an exclusive I can give you. That were the initial information they gathered with Walid. So he also comes as a peripheral name when we speak to those people who are making the decisions. So Echo, we are going to get a top name that will raise a lot of eyebrows when we talk about the money that he's going to take. But I think per the standards and the profile that we think befits the Blasters, we are going to be satisfied with the name that will come. And I can also add that the appointment of the next coach wouldn't be that long. And from the information I picked, it should be within the next or 2 weeks. We should be able to come out with a discussion on the appointment of the new Black Stars head coach.
But I mean, just on the lighter side, I'm just wrapping up the conversation with you. You touched on Thompson Fit. You touched on Walid Ragragi giving us the exclusive that based on the intense job that he did with Morocco, he wants to take a sabbatical leave. But you didn't touch on McBride. You didn't touch on Heavy Rena. We are looking for a heavy coach, but I didn't touch on Heavy Rena. Heavy Rena is a top-notch coach.
Just as I said, Echo, you know how I work. I didn't touch on them because I don't have information on them. I have not heard of their name anywhere. But for those who are watching us and for you in the studios, at least I have given you the category of the kind of coach that we are looking for. And if these names fit into it, then you are good to go to say you are confident that his name or a category around that name will be named. So I'm not able to touch on Bryce and then Harvey Rena because I've not asked of them in particular with the people I've spoken to, and I do not want to conjecture. But if everyone listening to me appreciates the communication and the choice of words, and these coaches fit into the category of those I am describing, then so be it. So that is it. That is it. I've not really heard anything concrete about them. That is why I'm not able to analyze their situation and whether they stand a chance or not.
Ayala, thank you very much. So much grateful for taking your time to give us all the insight and all the juicy story. I pray that God himself guide you and then bring you back home safely. Hopefully when you land in Accra, maybe we can catch up before you fly back to Kumasi. So Ayala, thank you very much for your time, and talk to you very soon when you arrive home safely.
Okay, it's always a pleasure having me, Eko, and greetings to all the guys in the studio.
Ayala. So that's was Ayala, Uzubempa Ayala, head of sports for Isra FM, giving us all the inside story and what you need to hear from those two games that were played in Vienna and in Stuttgart. Mike, like I said, we have a lot to unpack. I have pledged that tonight I'm not going to interrupt you. Just say whatever you want to say, and we just want to, make the right decision. Like I said, we can't afford to get this time. I mean wrong this time. So your messages are still coming in. You can share your messages with us, and we'll bring you more. We'll bring you your messages. So Mike, let me begin with you. I asked you a simple question. What Otuado was first of all fit enough to be on this job. Ayala has given us an insight of whatever happened. We'll touch on that. But now he's gone. The question is, who comes in? So we touch on the numbers, the appointment I was seeing, and where the Black Stars is now heading towards with 3 months to the World Cup. A new manager comes in. Again, who is the right fit for this job?
Basically, what we are saying this evening, what we've been saying as fans and as people who enjoy the game of football and who love the Black Stars, is that we want to see our team on the field of play. Right. And I think if we look at, you made a very good point about the decline from 2015.
Yeah.
And if you look at who we are from 2015, we began to digress. And when you watch the Black Stars, you do not find our identity in how we play.
Right.
And it has followed us from whoever has been in charge up until now. And I think that one thing that a lot of us would like to do, or a lot of us will understand, is that when you look at the Black Stars play football and you enjoy it, you see it, and you know that this is our Black Stars. And even though a lot of us say that it's still a loss on Monday, I think we saw a little bit of our Black Stars back on Monday, and we're happy about it. So I think that basically who should come in, Ayala has given us the platform already, and saying that the GFA and whoever is the paymasters are going to go gang-ho for a better name. I just think
more of like a better coach than Otuado.
Yes,
in effect.
I just think that there's another angle we have to look at. Like he was saying, like the point he was trying to make. Why are we making an appointment based on just the World Cup, on 3 games that could make or make our football? Look, anyone who comes in, it's the game of football. It can work. It's definitely might not work. So what direction are we looking at? Where is the focus? Especially since we have a technical director at post now. Are we doing this just because we want to get results at the world stage? Or we are looking at a 5 years, 6 years, 7 year, 10-year plan that will put us back on the pedestal of African football? Look, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Ghana was top 10 in Africa. Ghana was top 40, at least, top 30 in Africa and in the world FIFA rankings. We have digressed in just these 10 years. As far back as times 2, times 3 times. So what is the progress of our Black Stars team? And that is what worries me about this discussion. Whoever comes in, I'm down for it. But what are you telling that coach? In what idea are you bringing on that coach? Because are you telling the coach that take us to the World Cup and after that we'll see what we can do? We shot ourselves in the foot again, because we will come back to this conversation after the World Cup again. Because whoever is going to the World Cup's mind is, we want to do this for the World Cup and then I'm gone, or I do this for the World Cup and we will see what comes out of the World Cup shows a country or a team who is not prepared for our future. And that's what bothers me, because or if they are saying they are going to go expensive, it means that we are going to get the best of managers. So I will decide not to talk about that. We will talk about it when it's appointed. But I mean, it hurts me that we are speaking about this in a context where we just want to perform at the World Cup. And that is serious. If we want to be the footballing nation we used to be previously, this discussion is a no-no. And I at the point I am hurt that we are trying to be that type of team that wants to enjoy now and then leave it for whatever it is later. And we've done this for several times. We've done this. We've appointed people. We are these last 6 coaches that came. Mariano Barreto. It was in there. Just do this. Next 10 games, we'll assess you after that. This Otuado comes, take us to the AFCON. Didn't happen. And then they asked him that the bigger picture, take us to the World Cup. He did take us to the World Cup. Now we are calling for his head. His head is gone. We are going to go through the same process again. And it's really, really sad that we are handling the football this way. And I would understand if anybody wants to say that this is what the paymasters want and both of them are aligned. But I think as much as possible, policy should lead this direction where we want to go in a certain place. And
if you talk about policy, I pledge not to interrupt, but you're talking about something that I think the viewers need to have a clear understanding about what you're trying to say. If you talk about policy and you talk about appointment, this thing should have been done in consultation with the NSA because they are in charge of everything.
Yeah.
But it looks like NSA in this country is dysfunctional, where they are not involved in any technical decision. But elsewhere, they should be in consultation. So, in terms of the appointment and everything, where should the direction head to? Because like I told Wandel and I told you, I don't think we can afford to get it wrong at this time. I think it will be unpardonable.
Right now, the government and then government represented by the sports minister and the GFA have put themselves in the crossroads. And when this decision backfires, everybody's going to pounce on them. So they have to get it right. I think one thing that we also have to acknowledge, whoever is going to come, whoever is your employer, just need 3 things from you, especially in football. They need you to improve the team. They need you to manage players as best as you can. And then 3, they need you to be a proper representative of whatever institution you are in. And I think there was a few times Otto wasn't a proper representation. Yeah. His PR kind of gave the GF. So I'm surprised Ayala is saying that Tom Senfield has a lot of friends in the media and he feels that, well, that's another issue. But I think that what we should look at is a coach who has improved or taken a national team to a different level where they've been in the downdrams before, and now he brought them out. He has the experience to do that, and then that's why I'm saying that it's quite sad that we want to do that just for the World Cup, because this is a process. It's a hard, long process, and if we are doing that maybe a process that will see us in the next AFCON being in the final or winning it, and that is a sensible process. So if we are going to appoint somebody who should take us from this our lowly state into a state where we are climbing up the ladder back again as one of the top teams in Africa, we have to appoint somebody who has done it before, somebody who has been there before. And so that's also another option. If they are saying they want to appoint somebody who actually just should bring out the best out of our World Cup stint, you go get the person who can do that. But I just think that what we are looking for is a change in our mindset as people concerning the Black Stars, and we should begin to look at where we want to get to in the next 10-20 years. I think that should be the focus.
Right. So you don't subscribe to a short-term fix. It should be a long-term fix.
Oh, as it stands now, we need a short-term fix. But
and then we can build on the long term.
As we are doing the short-term fix, we should make sure that our language should not certainly always be a short-term fix. When we are going to appoint that coach, even though we are telling him that this is a short-term fix, we are showing him a proper 10-year plan, which the short-term fix should be included in
that 10-year plan.
Yes, and I think that is the way we should go.
Awesome. I'll come back to you, and then we'll touch on the games that we played, right? And whether it's down to coaching or it's down to quality in terms of quality of players.
Yeah, I like that conversation.
So we'll come back here. I mean, the producer is asking us to touch on that. We'll listen to Ayala. You've listened to Michael. The same question. I'm not going to change anything tonight. So we've come far, right? Under this administration led by Ketukreku, and he's done a lot. But it looks like if there is something that is not working for him, that has to do with the Black Stars. He brought in, people criticized the appointment of Otuado. People really didn't like the idea. People felt when he failed to qualify for the AFCON, that was a room for us we should have made that decision to let him go. We didn't. We kept him on the job. You could remember when we failed to qualify for the AFCON, the FA released a statement that there will be a retreat at Pram Pram. It never happened, right? The managing team was dissolved and all these things. They brought in the new faces and all that. Ahead of the World Cup, they strengthened the technical team, but there was no improvement in the side. On the team and all that. Now the decision had been made. He's gone. You go back to the numbers, the appointment that we've made in the past, and so many things that has happened during his tenure. He's gone. We need to look forward. Was it a good decision in the first place, or we shot ourselves in the foot? He's out of the door. Who comes in next?
So as I mentioned earlier, was it a good decision? I think this should have come a very long time ago, not now. Immediately after the World Cup qualification, we all mentioned it, that this is not the guy to take us. That was enough time to take us there. Now my concern comes in where, yes, the manager has been sacked, but then those who end up appointing the new manager are still the same people. And
you mean the that committee, 5-member committee?
Exactly, and they've tried it 6 or 7 times. It hasn't worked. Where is the change coming from over there? Because you can't keep giving those same people the opportunity to keep on making mistakes. And this time it's even high stakes, because now we are going to invest a lot more money in there.
Yeah.
And investing a lot more money, you are going in for a very world-class coach that can come in and then bring you quick success.
Yeah.
But then I'm hearing Ayala say certain names are off or are not high on the list because of their media frenzy.
Yeah.
But all those things come into play. Some managers are so passionate that they use the media to force the narratives and get what they want. Antonio Conte has done it several times, and it has proven to work. Yours is it a cause that we are trying to appoint a manager that will not hold us accountable to our promises and our plans? Because yes, Michael mentioned that we need a long-term plan, and yes, that's what we need. But because of our lackadaisical behavior, we found ourselves in a lock where we now have to go the short-term approach. How is that going to change?
Yeah.
We had the football DNA.
Yep.
The whole day I've been trying to find where that document is.
You remember last time we spoke about Black Stars?
Yes.
I tried to look for that.
Yes.
I mean, it was a book that was put together, just one at the launch, and it was given to the FA. So even for you to get a soft copy, I think it will be a challenge.
All I keep on seeing online is it was done in 2023, coming soon. And those all the articles you see over there is coming soon. Ghanaians don't know what the DNA is. So what DNA are we going to inform the manager? Because we are saying we want to play the Ghanaian way. What is even a Ghanaian way of playing?
Yeah.
Nobody knows. So the manager that is coming in, is he coming to set up his own structure? What is the way forward? Because another thing to why I'm raising the appointment committee is, yes, these same guys come and say this is the criteria we are using to appoint a new manager, and all of a sudden Otuado comes from nowhere and fits all that criteria. But when you look at it from the media perspective, from the public eye, we know that all these criteria was not met.
Yeah, he never ticked any of them.
So then how do we trust that whatever that we are hearing that they are planning on doing is what they are actually going to do?
Perhaps this time the government is involved, and so because the government is going to pay heavily.
The government was involved the last time.
Yeah, true.
So
because they brought their representative on that committee. Yeah.
What shows John Pencil or even Schaefer is not going to be the next person? Because I've seen him very active of late in the media since the sacking. I saw a video where he was having a discussion with Jordan Ayew, and I've seen him. What shows is the guy that is not going to be appointed and be told. They tell us that yes, he has been a technical director for a while, so he knows the Black Stars inside out. That's a huge possibility, but we have to move from that. Now with the names that we are mentioning, I'm here to bust our bubbles, because yes, we all like Heavy Renard, but is Heavy Renard the guy that can give us the performance we need at the World Cup? I don't think so.
Right.
Here's my perspective. This guy is a guy who is heavily reliant on an attacking style of football. High line. That is what he normally plays.
Right.
If you watch the game, the first game, Saudi Arabia, Argentina, they actually deployed that high line and they won the game because of a lot of offsides. Now you are going to meet an England team where, yes, Hurricane will drop deep all the time, moving your defenders. Even first of all, your defenders in your pool, do they have that speed to recover in a high line situation? One of the things you're supposed to be looking at. Now you are going to meet opposition where most of the wingers or the attackers are so good at beating these types of high lines. What happens to whatever Heavy Renard is coming to?
Right.
In situations where he met such strikers against Poland. So they won the Argentina game. Against Poland, they lost 2-0. They lost the next game too. And you look at the two teams, most of them had strikers that were very prolific and knew how to beat these things. So that's number one concern about him. Number two, I think he's on a decline.
Okay.
I think he's on a decline.
From Zambia to Ivory Coast.
Yes, and even when you take his performances in the World Cup.
Going abroad a bit.
Yeah, when you take his performances in the World Cup, it hasn't really worked for him.
Right. Both for the French female national team and the Saudi Arabia.
Yes, when Saudi Arabia, he took Morocco to the World Cup.
Sure.
6 games, he won 1, drew about 1, and lost the rest.
In 6 games.
In 6 games. And yes, we can pardon him for the Saudi Arabia team because we say, that team wasn't strong enough. But the Morocco team was a strong team.
Yeah.
And we still didn't get anything. Those are the cons about we appointing him. Now, when you look at the pros, this is a guy who everybody knows that if you are looking for the next king, the person who can make a country in the AFCON, this is the guy you are going for. He walks into the dressing room and everybody respects him straight away. Everybody, whatever instructions he gives, everybody is going to follow. You listen to his presses and you know that this guy is someone who instills or thrives on discipline within the squad. So you are not going to have any form of indiscipline, else you are gone. So he's bringing that. And I read somewhere that he has a degree in psychology also.
Right.
Heavy renowned.
Yeah.
So then this guy comes in, and you know that with the psychology of the team, preparing the team psychologically for certain games, he's the guy that can actually change whatever mindsets the players have into world beaters. If he can do it with Saudi Arabia to beat Argentina, he can obviously do it with the crop of players we have. Now looking at Tom, which I think currently for the short term is the best option we have.
Okay.
Given our setup, this guy is the guy who you call the underdog. He thrives when he's the underdog, and you actually raise teams' morals beyond whatever they are. He normally underperforms. Now this guy normally sets up in a defensive structure. He's blocking, making sure that all spaces are blocked first, and then goes with structured counter attacks. When you look at our current setup right now, that is how the team has been set up from whatever manager we've had. One goal project. We need to be defensively solid to frustrate whatever opponents we are going to face, because like it or not, for Croatia is going to control the ball a lot more. If you open up, you have players like Kovacic and Modric who are press resistant. So if you play that high line, you are in trouble. You need someone who can get the players to sit back, soak pressure, and then with the fast players we have, Semenyo, Kamaldeen, Fatau, Iñaki, we could hit them on the break. And they have some old players in their back line which we can target, and we could get 1 or 2 goals, and that's it. That's the type of guy. England, yes, you could also frustrate them in a way, because heavy in possession too, and we could shut shop and also hit them on the break. That's if you have players like Maguire in their back line, you know that there's obviously some weakness over there.
Number 5 on the list, remove Maguire from
take Maguire off. You know that his left back and his right back are going to either invert or go a little bit wide. There's space over there to capitalize on. Then their main goalkeeper too has problems. Every now and then he has it in him to misbehave. So we know that at least in such a game we can soak pressure, 1 or 2 chances, we take it, and that's what he did with Gambia.
Okay.
With Mali, he started well, but in the AFCON, but for some reason it didn't go. I think currently with our setup, he's the guy
he's the best fit.
He's the best fit for the short term.
Right.
For the long term, I can't say so, because I don't know what the direction is. I don't know what we are trying to do, whether our new DNA is going to be attacking or is going to be
DNA.
So we can't tell that one. So, but in the short term, for someone who I think can actually come in and make all those changes, that's the guy.
Okay.
And since he's also friends with the media, he will know how to go out there in presses to make Ghanaians feel calm.
Okay.
In the midst of storm, and that's the type of guy you need.
Manager you need. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me read messages. Okay. We'll go for a quick commercial, because there are lots of messages coming in, and we'll go for a commercial break. Then we'll touch on the final thing, whether what we witnessed was down to quality or just about coach. Now this one says that WoezorTV all the way, no problem. Okay, all the way. Now the problem is Jordan, not any coach. Okay. Now this one from is Desmond Gray. Looking at how the Black Stars are performing, I think the problem is not coming from only the coach. The team is also involved, and they should also look through. Coaches are being sacked in Ghana too much. This one says that I don't see changing coaches will solve the problems. What matters is we should patronize our local producing players. Those foreign players is an opportunity that send them top, and not because of their performance. We have some good players in Ghana. Let's make good use of them. Okay, thank you very much. This one is from Richard. Richard says that, please, the players are not good, but Otuado is not. But Otuado is not putting some of them at their right place, like Semenyo as a winger, while he is a striker. Okay, so this is your argument now. And also, he doesn't teach the players communication. Okay, now we need, this one says that now we need a coach outside. Okay. Okay, Richard, we've read your message again. Okay, this one says that good evening. This one is from Charles inside Mempronso. He says that Kofi Adam should go bald and do away with Ketokreku because he's a major cause of our problem of Ghana football. Secondly, Kes should be made to pay any compensation to Otuado. Ghanaians are suffering, so the minister should not waste taxpayers' money. Okay, thank you very much for that one. Able Minister from Cove City. Able Minister, thank you very much for sending your message, and I'm reading your message. Able Minister, this one says that hello guys, good evening. Please, for all those calling for James Akwesi Appiah to be given the Black Stars job, please, I beg you, why? We don't want any experiment anymore. And he goes on to say, and did I just hear someone saying that Otuado qualified us to the 2022 World Cup? Aputo, please. It was Didi, George Boateng doing the job behind the scenes. What does Otuado know? I have heard the former Moroccan coach, Walid Regragui, is being considered by Konimo, and he says Konimo means that Ketokreku and his football people hope it is true. Okay, thank you very much for that one. This one says that my name is Kobe Mike. Can the GFA go for Enzo Maresca for a short-term project to help the team for the World Cup? Okay, anything is possible. If you have money, you can go in for everything. This one says that Amakwata from Brekum. Otuado doesn't deserve to coach the Black Stars, and also shame to Ketokreku and his staff. I see. I am now watching live from Teshi Penny. Is there a place like that? I see. Since Otuado is sacked, then the GFA president might also be made to go out. He is also part of the downfall of our game. Now, Ghana's football. Okay. He's been okay, let's move on from this one. This one says that good evening. I think the politicians and the GFA should stop interfering with player selection and coach can deliver. This one is from K Koforidia, Cardinal Radio message again. Owusu. Okay, this one says that Ayala is fantastic. Let me read this final one. Good evening to you guys in the studio. Just wishing Otuado the best in the coming days, but the GFA, they should just go for the best coach. This one is from Pepsi, Tebi Kita. So more messages coming in. You can share your messages more with us. Let me continue to share with you the exciting news, because the Black Stars will be playing in 2026 FIFA World Cup in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. And pack your bags, because 2 people are going to the FIFA 2026 World Cup today, and 2 more tomorrow, and 2 more the day after. Now, this is the Black Stars World Cup supporter raffle, and with just 10 Ghana cities, you could win a full World Cup experience package, return flights, accommodation, and match tickets to all 3 Ghana's group games against in North America. Now, and there are daily consolation prizes too, cash to your mobile money wallet, autographed Black Stars jerseys, VIP fan pack tickets, airtime and data bundles, and more. Every ticket is your vote for the Black Stars and your shots at being there when the Black Stars played England, Croatia, and then Panama. To participate, just dial *889 on MTN, Telecel, or Airtel Tigo. Now, just 10 cedis per tickets. The more you buy, the better your chances. Now, 2 winners every day gonna to the world, like you can see on the screen. *899#, and then you can participate, or you can join, or you can log on to ghworldcupraffle.com to buy your ticket. GH World Cup Raffle to buy your tickets, and so join the Black Stars as we hope to get to the North America and leave a positive mark. But the guys will touch on something briefly, and we can bring you our investors corner, and we can leave the studios. Now, 2 games played, we considered 7 goals and we scored only 2. The question is it down to quality or it was a coaching problem? And whoever comes in, whether sent on faith like what Wandel was trying to give us a proper breakdown for us to understand why we need him on the job, or whoever comes in, will he be able to fix this challenge before we go to the World Cup? I'll let the guys also have their bite on that. And then something very important. Now that Otuado is gone, remember the FA recently brought in some 5 new faces to beef up the technical team. There are about 18 technical men now. Otuado is gone, left with 17. The question is, the manager that comes in, is he coming in with his own backroom staff or is coming to work with these people? And so the guys will touch on that as well, and then we can leave. Mike, let me begin with you. Is it down to quality or is it about coaching? And then you touch on whoever comes in. Should we allow him to work with this as technical members?
I'll start from the back.
Right.
If Ayala or if as Ayala said, if the paymasters and the GFA together think that they are going broke for a manager, you cannot get such a type of manager to come and be having this type of technical team. Definitely. Unless, like Wendell said, the criteria is there or the intention is there, but they bring us somebody else and decide to explain with some other words, because you cannot get even the names on the list, the 3 names you've seen on the list. They are not coming here to work with our people. They will have to clear all of them and bring in new unless maybe the physiotherapist and
the team doctor.
Don't touch the medical team.
Maybe the stats guy. But apart from that, I don't think that anybody is following anybody to the next regime. And then talking about, I don't know whether you are speaking of these 2 games.
No, these 2 games,
Yeah, so any employer wants his or her coach to be dynamic. In any sphere of your life, you want to be able to change when somebody has found you out. And at some point, Otuado couldn't do that in his stint as the second stint as a Ghanaian manager. Look, when we spoke to Ayala last week, he spoke about what Otuado intends to do with the 3-back, and there's an inkling that kind of leans towards the fact that Otu favors the 3-back system. And so, like he said today, to any time you are playing a big team, he tries to use the 3-back system. So, and as evidence has shown, so anytime he doesn't play a big team, doesn't use the 3-back system, we lose. And it has affected a loss to Chad, loss to Niger. Same thing. I think that one of Otuado's weaknesses was that he failed to recognize that you cannot play every game the same way, and it has affected him a lot. And this is one thing with our young up and coming managers, where they have a certain style of play and they think that
is the right way to
do. And there's this assertion, I don't know whether maybe they've taught in the when getting the alliances, but there's this assertion that if you want to do something and you feel right with it, continue with it. It definitely will yield results. I don't think it does in modern day football, because in modern day football, the opponent is looking at you as much as you are looking at them. They have all the data. They have everything that will assist them to beat you. And there's a reason why Pep Guardiola is no longer playing tiki-taka. There's a reason why Arteta is no longer playing what he used to play, because at the end of the day, you need to outsmart your opponent to win. And I think at some point, Otuado couldn't get those things right. I think the second thing that worried him was player profiling.
I think he didn't get it right.
Yeah, I think he didn't get that one. So a lot of the time, he called players into the team and put them in different positions where they were not effective enough. At some point, even playing certain players in certain positions and giving them certain roles that they cannot accomplish. We saw that recently with Kwesi Sibo. And you cannot have Kwesi Sibo and Partey in the midfield and give a build-up play role to Kwesi Sibo whilst Partey is on the field.
So you think it's coaching or quality?
I think for what is worth, a big part of it is coaching.
Right.
And you can only do with what you have.
Yeah.
And what he has a lot. I think I pointed out to you guys that since Otto Addo took over, anytime he has call-ups, his defenders are more. His center backs are more than midfielders and strikers. So that affects him a lot too sometimes. So one, I think mostly it's from his decision making, and I don't think a lot of people have said he's not good. I don't think he's a bad coach at all, but there's a certain mindset he has. If he's able to drift from that and begin to be open-minded about tactics and rules,
he will come good. Right. Michael, thank you very much for that. Wondell, I mean, Michael seems to think that probably if Otto Addo should be more open and accept that probably this is how I want to play, but I don't have the right materials, then I need to revert and then try something more. But from your perspective, from what you watched, you think it's down to quality or it's down to coaching? And whoever comes in, will he be able to fix it if it's down to coaching?
So if it was about quality, then we should have also lost the Germany game by a huge margin.
Because the Germans are more better than us in terms of quality-wise.
Exactly. But these same players stand up. And at a point in time, I felt if we had made certain changes even earlier, we could have won that game. Because you had us getting them on the counter several times.
Yeah.
And then players were taking 2 or 3 touches more than they were supposed to. And all those things, as the coach's like a coaching instruction corrects these things. That we are playing a direct way of playing. Immediately we get the counter, 1, 2, 3 passes, we should be in the opponent's box.
Yeah.
And that is the philosophy. But we didn't see that. Then now we talk about the player profiling. Calibrinci was found out in the Austria game several times.
At a point I was feeling bad for him.
Exactly. Like it looked like they are putting him there to punish him. Because you had, what's his name? Sapitza just hitting those diagonal balls. They targeted him because they realized that there was a weakness there. And because it wasn't his natural position, even positioning yourself to defend a winger or a fullback that is running at you was a problem. And all those things are things that comes to a natural right back. This same guy who was moved a little bit forward in the 3-5-2 situation against Germany.
Yeah.
And he was okay, he could express himself more, which means this guy is someone who, once you move him a little bit close to the middle,
he can be good.
Yes, he will express himself more and give you options.
All right.
Another thing too was having Jordan as our progressor in a team that wants to counter Germany. And we have situations where you have players running.
Decided to send the ball back.
You decide to take and do some dummies and stepovers facing. But that's another thing for another day. But that's what I'm saying. It's all misprofiling because you know Jordan is not that type of guy.
Yeah.
What happened to Semenyo being the person that is going to lead those? He did that against Liverpool.
Yeah.
One man
in the opener.
Yes, in the opener of the season. Yeah. That's the type of guy you have. You have Fatau, who came on instant impact, was doing a lot of take-ons, was adding numbers. But we had a striker that was isolated all game and making all the runs possible. He wasn't getting the deep pass, and nothing changed. You know, he made a change in the last minute of the game.
Yeah,
against Germany.
How?
He knew he was going to be sacked too, Charlie.
No, you don't have options.
Yeah.
This qualifiers was set up for you to try options, and you still went with those you already know. You didn't try anybody because Marvin Senaya, who we are all seeing to be the possible fix to our right back situation, did not even get a chance to showcase anything. Lucasen also comes in and he comes to show us the reason why
he shouldn't come back.
He should
never come back to the team.
First chance, look at how reckless a tackle it was.
That guy, he should never come back to the team. So I mean, for you, it's simple. You think it's misprofiling?
Yes, it's misprofiling, and it's all down to a coaching issue. I don't think we have a quality issue. Our players are playing in the top leagues.
Yeah.
And so when they come here, it shouldn't be a problem.
It shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Right. The guys sharing their perspective with us. So a whole lot of, discussion will go on from now until when a new manager will be appointed. We expect, Ayala said maybe within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we should expect a new manager. So we should give ourselves to the end of this week. Hopefully next week, we'll be hearing some, announcement from the Ghana Football Association. But for now, let's do our Investors Corner. And
before you do Investors Corner, I want the listeners to research on the amount of compensation we've paid the 5 or 6 coaches that
5 or 6 okay 6 now.
Yes, 6 coaches that under Ketukwe's.
I see.
That's billions of dollars.
and this is the same appointment committee that's going to appoint someone else. What's the chances that they will not make that
time
same
around?
mistake?
You can't afford to get
it's
it
break
wrong.
or break, honestly.
Right. So let's have our Investors Corner. Last weekend, Charlie, Sika, why is Sika? Last week, Sika those who picked the Investors Corner. Last week, those who picked the games and then the code were able to make some money. What about this weekend? Let's have a look at PSG, because club football returned this weekend, and PSG, they will host Toulouse, and we are saying home win. Coventry. Frank Lampard's Coventry, who will be playing in the Premier League next season, they will take on Derby County, and we are saying a home win for Coventry. In the Portuguese Premier League, Liga, Sporting, they will come out Santa Clara. What's that? Azores. And we are saying that home win. Freiburg against Bayern Munich, we are saying an away win. Mallorca against Real Madrid, we are saying that away win. Atletico Madrid against Barcelona, away win or draw. And after this, there will be another Champions League game.
Yeah,
interesting. And Southampton against Arsenal in the FA Cup, we are saying away win for Arsenal. Chelsea against Port Vale, saying that a home win for Chelsea. Rosini and Okra, don't be surprised.
Rafinha misses the Atletico game, so it's quite both.
In the Champions League as well.
In the Champions League, so it's quite dicey there too.
Yeah. Now this is our booking code XCKP. XCKP is our booking code for tonight or this weekend Investors Corner. Remember, you can go to the platform of MyBet.Africa, who are our proud sponsor for the arena here on WoezorTV. Use our booking code and then you can make some very good money. Thank you very much. A big thank you to MyBet.Africa for always holding us down and being our proud sponsor. Thank you very much as always, and thank you also for joining us with your calls, your messages, and thank you very much for making time to watch us. It has been the arena here on WoezorTV. My name is Samuel Appiah. I did this together with Michael. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming as always. And then the gentleman, the Liverpool guy, also. Quick prediction: Barcelona, Atletico Madrid.
Oh, Barca.
Liverpool, Man City in the FA Cup. Who is that? Quick one. Let's go.
I'm not a good person.
All right.
So I think the response alone speaks a lot. So all right. So it has been the arena here on WoezorTV. Thank you very much once again for making time to watch us. We'll be back onto your screens again. But until then, have a good night. Take good care of yourself, and then it's a good night from us.